So, yeah, I saw this on social, and I want to get y'all's take on this. And basically, what are you starting to like less the older you get? What are you starting to like less the older that you get?
Give me an example.
So for me, I think I'm starting to like people less.
As a whole,
bruh. So I called Coop this week and I said, Coop, we were talking about Zion. Y'all know the situation going on when I know Zion. Freaky Zeke. Yeah, we was talking about that. We talking about Lil Mama trying to scam him and said she gonna release the tape. And I was telling Coop, I said, bro, people just upset me with their stupidity.
The nonsense.
Yeah, like you can do it, but man, who's gonna sue you? Like that's literally illegal.
Yeah.
And so then I went on this whole tangent.
Porn, yeah.
Yeah, it's revenge porn. I went on this whole tangent about all these situations where people be pissing me off, and I know Coop probably was like, nigga.
No.
I did not call for that. So I think something that I'm starting to like less now that I'm older is people, bro. I'm really starting to realize some of y'all elevators don't go to the top. Well, not y'all, because not our listeners, but some of y'all friends.
Something I like less.
Something that you like less now that you're older.
I would say, what you thinking? For me, it would be big crowds.
Okay.
I do not like big crowds, bro. Like, I think because my lifestyle has shifted a little bit, and I used to faithfully be around like big crowds, events, and like constantly doing things and going to things. I ain't trying to be there. Like a lot of big crowds and like a lot of things going on at one time, it's like overstimulating.
Yeah, not for that.
So like I feel like I might have been out a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, bro, it's a lot happening right now. Whereas before, it didn't used to bother me.
Right.
It used to be the norm. Now I'm like, I'm cool on it.
Let's go with wallet chains. People in big pocket. Yeah.
It's not even that. It's just it's sensory overload.
I've never like
and it might be the pandemic.
And people be yelling, bro. Here I am trying to enjoy brunch, and I just. Oh my
I
God!
Some good food.
I just want to eat my waffles.
Okay, youth. Talking to children, not children, but like teenagers is exhausting, bro.
It is.
I understand.
As somebody who has a kid, it is exhausting.
Is it the mentality?
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Cool.
What are you talking about?
So I realized the other day, like, so by Jaden's school, after school, all the kids like go to this particular Target. And I had pulled up at Target and I realized, I said, oh no, these kids out of school. And I intentionally did not go into the Target because I don't want to deal with you.
You know what it is?
What?
Especially like high school kids.
Yes, oh my gosh, bro.
It's the arrogance
Mm-hmm.
and it's the
audacity.
How judgmental they are and how arrogant they are and how wrong they are about most things.
General ignorance.
Right.
Confidently ignorant.
Right. So we got people, we got big crowds, we got the entire future. Cool, the entire future. KJB, what is something you
I was just gonna say traffic. Like I remember there was a
you work from home.
What you talking about?
So when I had to go out, I got to deal with traffic.
There's other cars on the road.
Traffic is annoying.
Traffic is annoying, but if you broke, just say that. You get your helicopter. Broke boy.
Welcome back. It's another episode of Soundboard Podcast. This is Coop.
It's your man Dante.
What's up with it? It's your boy JJ.
Produced by
BKJB.
the biggest.
Why KJB get all the extra add-ons?
Is
that a problem?
Yes.
Envious.
DJ Envious. Hey man, welcome to the Soundboard Podcast. at this point, we've been friends for how long? About 12 years?
It changes every time.
It do. We be like over 10 years.
You're saying 10 for like the last 2 years.
At this point, it done been like 12 years.
Well, when you say over 10, it encompasses everything.
Yeah, so we've been friends for over 10 years, met in college, and now we are doing our 30s together, married men, fathers, exploring careers and all this type of stuff. And so this is where we come every week to vocalize our frustrations. If y'all can hear what we say off the mic, y'all really would be bugging. But welcome to the Soundboard Podcast. So fellas, what's been up, man?
Your boy has been chilling.
Okay.
But also I've been watching a lot of TV.
Okay.
And I realized something, man. Like I have a question.
Yeah.
Growing up, what was an indicator of somebody having money? And has that changed for you now? And the reason I'm asking this is because I was watching Bel Air and I realized how much bigger the house is from the Fresh Prince.
Right.
I have to emphasize the fact that what's his name? Uncle Phil is a billionaire or whatever compared to we didn't know how much money the old Uncle Phil had. Mm-hmm. So it was like an indicator of money to you growing up.
So I think one of the biggest things that let me know is a big house. Like when somebody had a big house, bro, that lets you know like, oh, they got money. But then I grew up.
Or their house not connected.
Yeah. Then I grew up and realized people be getting a whole bunch of stuff they can't afford. But I would say house was a big sign.
But even the house, so like the house from from Fresh Prince, to me now when I watch it, I'm like, it's a nice house.
It was a nice house.
It's still a big house.
It's cool for the 90s.
Like they have a lot of money.
It looks like a regular nice house to me.
Like think about it, bro. They went to private school. Like
I'm just basing it on the house.
What is money though? I guess like what are you saying? Because it looks like they still got a lot of money.
They look like they're doing well, but if you watch Bel Air, they have a compound.
Yeah, they on some acres.
It's also HD.
Yeah. So look, so listen.
420.
Right. So maybe
this bracket of wealth.
Maybe this will give us some context. Y'all know Uncle Phil was a judge, right? Mm-hmm. It says for the U.S. courts, district judges can make about $232, circuit judges can make about $246, and associated justices can make $285. I think they was living outside of their means.
I had to be.
He was going.
This is 90s though.
He was going for district judge, right?
Yeah, that means he was making less. That means he was making less money in the 90s. That means in the 90s it probably was like 185.
He flew a butler in from England on $230 a year.
I think so.
No, ain't no way.
He has other investments, bro.
Ain't no way. He had to be doing something illegal.
Selling rocks. How do you think that black community?
Bro, there's no way they had that much money making. I mean, that much house and all the stuff they had.
All private
for $230.
Actually, we show how broke we are. We're just going off of annual salary. Like he could obviously have investments in savings. Like he just make it 1 year.
I can't talk to Do we have broke mentality?
We consider our yearly salary as that's the cap.
That's
it.
Cool.
He can only make 230.
Cool. Why would you bring this up?
It's a big difference though from the 90s Fresh Prince of Bel Air to what the Bel Air is projecting now.
Well, you have to make more money to live that way.
Yeah, but I think it's just exposure because like in the 90s we didn't have social media or nothing like that, so you didn't really see a whole lot. So what you saw on TV was like if you didn't have that lifestyle and like you didn't see that on your day to day, that was like, oh, this is a lot.
Almost like the Cosbys, right?
Right, like the Cosby. But now you see it all the time on social media, so it becomes like you become desensitized to it.
I would say just Bel Air, California as
from
a
TV standpoint, you got to embellish now. Like, all right, this is what y'all used to.
We got to go bigger. We got to go bigger.
This is money. Y'all thought y'all had money.
This is what real wealth is.
You got no money.
So even outside of that, what did y'all think? Because I really want to know for y'all. Because Coop was like, did y'all have rich friends growing up?
Bro.
And I don't think I knew anybody rich.
Bro.
For me, it was game systems. If you can get the latest game system.
Okay, I can see that.
You were spoiled and you had access. Like that's money off top that parents didn't necessarily feel like they had to give.
I remember this like it was yesterday, bro. I was in first grade going to second grade, and your boy can't read. So I can't read.
Oh.
So I had to go to summer. You have summer school. Like I didn't fail anything.
I heard about it.
I never had to go.
So I didn't work on his reading. So I went to summer school, right? So I met his friend, right? And he's like, hey, bro, come over and I just got a PlayStation. And
Let's
you
not
can play. I was like, you can come. We can play on my PlayStation. But at the time, I had a Super Nintendo, and I had never heard of PlayStation.
Yeah.
So imagine what my mind.
A whole new world.
I'm thinking he has like a jungle, like some type of.
Oh, like a legit.
I can't wait to go play with the PlayStation.
I'm trying to go jump in the balls.
And I don't want to let him know that I don't know what a PlayStation is. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be so fun. Like I don't even know.
Did you go over there?
No, I never went.
I'm just saying that there's a woman on Coop's face when he shows up. He's like, "Yeah, bro, let's go into the TV room. The TV room, it's indoors." So game system for you. That's how you would know if somebody if somebody had money. But then again, bro, people be having game systems. I had a Sega,
But even
That proves the point.
in 2008.
I had a Sega in 2008.
Got the Dreamcast.
I had a Sega Genesis when they were hot. I had a Sega Genesis when they were hot.
I'll say car, right? But even the cars have changed. So like, if somebody had drove a Lexus when I was a kid, I'm like, oh, they rich. Like a Lexus was a nice car in the 90s.
Sure.
But now it's like you gotta have a Ferrari or like a
Porsche.
Lamborghini or
But
a
it's
Porsche.
also different. Like back then, we were kids. Now we're coming into money.
It's not, bro, because look, even the rappers were rapping about I got the stretch Lexus and whatever. They don't rap about Lexus no more.
That's true.
It's become more of a median. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's changed, bro.
So JJ, for you, how did you know if somebody was rich?
I think it's part of what y'all said. Whatever, somebody had the latest of whatever.
Okay.
So if it's like the game system, they were able to cop the new shoes, whatever it is, like they got the latest. I think as I got older, I also recognized like when people could do anything that they wanted to do,
Right.
like privilege.
Freedom.
It was like privilege. Like, wait, how you can do this and this? And like it wasn't no question about it. You know, I think that was another thing.
You really do have McDonald's money.
Look, Mom, he really has it. He really has it. Nah, bro, it's crazy because
And I remember like going out to eat, and I think this probably was when I was a little older, but I remember going out to eat when people could just cover a tab.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh,
I ain't gonna lie.
Till this day.
I ain't gonna lie. Let me just be honest with y'all. The first time I've ever experienced that, KJB.
It's Pops.
Me and Justin were roommates.
Yeah.
And so if you know anything about Justin parents be hard on him.
Yeah.
364 days. But for that one day, his birthday, bro, they treat this man like a prince.
Yeah.
So being roommates with Justin, I'm like, okay, your parents get you this nice cake every year. It's like, bro, cake was good. We eat on that mug for weeks.
not a slice.
Yeah, not slice. But then we would go out to dinner. Like, Justin would get to bring all his friends out to dinner, and we would all go to whatever restaurant he picked. And then they would not bring the bill out. And Justin I would be like, hey, bro, where the bill at? And his dad would cover it.
Yeah.
And I just saw that happen every year for Justin's birthday. And this is sad because we're in college. That was the first time I had seen somebody, and I was like, me and Justin living in this raggedy apartment, and he's rich.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you still playing this other juice.
Dante planning his meal for his next birthday. He gonna go all out for Justin.
Oh yeah, no. The second one after that,
Give me the big
I'm
salad.
like, oh yeah, nah, sir, bring me
Keep the cheese going.
Bro, I was more excited for Justin's birthday than my own every year. So I think that was also it. But bro, you know what's so crazy? I've been watching the news a lot more recently.
You are getting older.
Keep it up. I think I am.
Me too. I've been watching the news too.
Well, I was keeping up with the Titanic submarine thing.
Oh,
R.I.P. But one of the things that is an epidemic apparently is not an epidemic. That's the wrong word. But people hating on people with Teslas.
Oh yeah,
and so they're scratching the car, they're bumping the car intentionally.
This segment.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
So look, what people don't realize is Teslas have cameras all around the car.
Yeah.
So this guy did this news story about all these Tesla owners and how they'll come out of the store or like come into their neighborhood and it'd be like a whole, like somebody scratched the car, somebody and you see all these people, and of course they cut their faces off, but you see all these people like scratching the car, like scratching the car, hitting the car with bucket, like with the buggies in stores and stuff, and it's like these Tesla owners. One lady said it was going to be $6,000 to get her car repainted.
Yep.
And it's just all these hating people, hating on people with Teslas.
Tesla propaganda.
It's a real thing, bro.
It's a real thing.
YouTube too.
Where did that come from?
So apparently people just are, there's no reason or rationale. People just don't like people. I think Teslas represent money now.
It's one, it represents money. Two, it's the whole, I think Teslas are seen as more of like a leftist type car also.
Is it?
Because of energy, like being
electric,
not using petrol.
Oh, you don't want to use.
Yeah, so then I think based off, the party's basis, a lot of Republicans come from like, was it blue collar work? White collar is the business, more like office workers, right? Blue collar is more like...
blue collars, get your hands dirty.
Yeah. So I think it's more like blue collar people, so they see it as like a sign of like a leftist, rich person a lot of times. Whatever, Elon Musk isn't necessarily leftist, but I think that's what that is.
Yeah, bro.
None of us have to worry about that.
That's what I said.
Not yet.
I am. I'm gonna give me a Tesla one. Well, bro, that made me second guess it.
You have to get a Tesla and a gun at the same time.
So you know what it is, bro? It really made me realize though, you should not get something that you can't afford. Because if you get a Tesla and you can't afford for somebody to come and hit it with a basket or like scratch it for no reason, if you're gonna be bugging out about this $6,000 that you gotta pay to get your car repainted, you probably don't need the car.
Max.
And I'm in a season where I would be pissed off. And so watching that news story, I was like, I don't need no Tesla yet.
Right.
Because I'm not in a season to where that wouldn't happen and I would not be pissed off.
Right.
I feel like when you got money, you legit, like, it's an inconvenience, but it's not necessarily like...
It's like a break-in.
Yeah, it's like a, bro, you broke, like poor-minded, but then you like, let me just go get my car fixed.
Yeah,
let me just take care of it.
Right.
But, yeah, nah, bro, that just made me realize. So when we were talking about rich people and what appeared to be rich, that's what made me think about that.
That's good. Another thing, we said last episode to watch Summer House Martha's Vineyard.
So me and Coop aren't geeks, bro. We have a problem. Every week we talk about the show. I call Coop and I'm like, Coop, did you see it?
Either Monday night or Tuesday night, we gonna talk.
We gonna talk. But if you don't know, there's a show. It comes on Bravo. So we watch it on Peacock.
Yeah.
But it actually comes on Bravo, and it's called Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Basically, you get all these black millennials in a house together, and they spend 2 weeks.
They rent a house in Martha's Vineyard.
For 2 weeks. Because I didn't know this, but Martha's Vineyard has a lot of history of black people just going to visit there. But so they're kind of telling the story of that, but then also they're millennials. So what else are they drinking? I mean, what else are they doing? They drinking, they got drama. It's a vacation, bro. And we all just sitting there watching it. So cool. How did you even start watching it?
My wife watches the other Summer House, which is in
the original.
In the Hamptons.
Okay. But
it's more a white. It's more
white population.
It's a white.
A lot more
cast. Yeah.
Okay, so she's watching it, and then how did you start watching it?
So then her mom started watching the Martha's Vineyard, and we were watching it. I was like, oh, these are actually more realistic issues, I think, than normal reality TV. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I can relate more to these people than usually. Like even like Real Housewives of Atlanta or whatever. I don't relate to those characters. Like their issues are not similar to anything that I've experienced in life. It's just theirs is more like blown up, but this is more like realistic to me. Right.
So I kind of started watching it because it was on. Like I watched Peacock because I watched Bel Air and stuff like that, and I saw it on there, and I'm like, what show is this with all these black people?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, and usually I'm used to seeing like black women.
Right.
So when I saw the cover, and I'm like, oh, it's black dudes on this show too.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was like a dating show. I was like, what is this? I have a habit of being up in the middle of the night, and I was like, let me just watch. I was like, let me click this.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm watching it. I'm like, I could actually believe that this is something that would happen if you took a lot of millennials and put them in a house. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not really exaggerated drama. It's real life. Like, they over there fighting about people washing regular clothes with the dog clothes, like all this. So we told these two gentlemen, we told them, because we trying to get more people on board, and we said, KJB, JJ, you got to watch Summer's House so we can talk about it. Mm-hmm. And they've watched it.
They watched some of it.
They watched some of
it. I think we watched up to like maybe the first 6. How many?
I think it's only like 7.
I think that's at 5.
Maybe I got to 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay. But I just started watching it because we done took a trip for the weekend, and Dante done turned on Summer House, so we watched all 4 episodes.
I stopped at 3.
You stepped out?
I stepped out.
Yeah, we caught up to where it was
at the time.
It had been about 2 more episodes since then.
So I want to talk about one of the issues, and I want to
Spoiler alert. Or no?
We told them to watch it weeks ago.
We did. At this point, y'all gotta get. Hold on, before we jump.
We can still talk about it. I was just saying.
Before we jump into it, because we know we love somebody. We love somebody who always shakes the table. KJB, what you think of Summer's House?
You want to start off with mine?
You asked the wrong person.
Yeah, I want to know.
I understand the way that y'all introduced it as far as like it's realistic, and I get it to a certain degree. There's certain things I can coordinate and I can correlate with because as black people we have certain levels of similarities.
Right.
It is still reality TV.
Yes.
So my wife watched the episode, and after the first one, it's kind of like that was cool. That is still scripted. It's still a little bit of there's alley-oops in there.
Yeah, I believe that.
At that point, I gave it 2 more episodes, and even while we were on the trip, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go do something else. It's cool, we can talk about it, but like my brain doesn't process reality TV.
You're no fun.
I know.
But even regular TV scripted.
It is. But
you like the authenticity, knowing
that it's like a TV.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'll give kudos to great writing.
Okay.
They did a great job in the script.
Okay.
They trying to play off like there's not a script. All right, now you trying to mislead me.
So JJ, what did you think of it? Are you a reality TV watcher?
I'm not a reality TV show, bro. I don't watch no reality shows because they try to draw you in, and like Justin said, they keep you. It's like scripted.
Right.
And then I'm like, why am I even arguing with the TV or saying things out loud? Because I'm like, so I don't get. I try to
like fun.
I don't like fake drama.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what reality is to me.
A lot of it.
It's like fake drama, things like that. This was a little different though. This was like it seemed a little bit more real.
Like they're not arguing about stupid.
It's not. Maybe it's not that it's more real. It's more relatable.
It's correlated.
So it's like, all right, I could. When I watched some reality shows before, I could never see myself in any of these.
Yes.
Right. So now I'm like, I could kind of see this particular situation playing out. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So bro, they've had all kind of stuff happen on the not that they sponsored the show or nothing. We talking about it like they sponsored the show. But bro, they had all kind of stuff. Like, you know how black people are about animals. Mm-hmm. One girl brought a dog to the house.
Wild.
But she didn't tell nobody. She didn't tell the people that she was bringing the dog. So now that's a problem, right? And black people. The girl asked her. She says, "Oh, is this we didn't know you were bringing a dog.
Like, it's my support
it's my support animal. She's like, it's my emotional support animal." And then she's like, okay. So then one of the issues was they already mad about the dog leaving hair everywhere. They put in the dogs, they're washing the dog's towels or something. But then they put it in there with the regular house towels. In real life, that would be a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah. That would be a problem.
There was a problem on the show too.
It was. A girl ended up leaving, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something else. So there's a couple on the show, Coop.
Right. So Jasmine and
Silas.
And I want to pose this question to y'all. So they're having a discussion about going out and this and that. And Silas says, I don't want my wife accepting free drinks from men. So if a man were to buy her a drink he wants her to send it back or not accept the drink. And then the people on the show are basically saying that's a controlling thing to say about your wife, basically. And I didn't necessarily see it as controlling, but everybody around me kept saying, oh, that's controlling, that's controlling.
Mm-hmm.
So in y'all's opinion, one, do y'all care if y'all's wife accepts free drinks when they're out? Two, do you think that's a controlling thing to make a request or let your wife know what you expect of them when you're not around?
So, I don't know. I've never been out. We don't really go out like that. So I've never been around where if somebody has bought a drink. But if Olivia was out.
Not around, right?
Yeah.
Not around.
I'm saying if Olivia was out with her friends and somebody saw their group of friends and they bought the group of friends a drink,
we're not talking about
I wouldn't be upset.
Somebody bought Olivia.
If somebody bought Olivia a drink,
I would say.
that might be a problem.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit of a problem.
Would it be a problem if she just accepts the drink?
She's thirsty.
I'll jump over there. Would that be a problem?
I don't have a problem.
It's not a problem for me.
It's not a problem for me either.
It's not a problem that she would accept the drink. And here's why. I think that it depends on the context, I guess.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times people just will like buy drinks or send drinks or something like that. If a dude is like legit trying to send a drink and like really
follow up with it,
right? That's a whole different story.
But how do you know?
You won't. But I mean, I put that on my.
You're not with it.
Nah,
You said no.
You're not with it.
But I trust her. I mean, I put that on her. Like I feel like if she's smart enough to know, like, hey, this dude's trying to make a play or something. It's something off. She'll send it back or she just won't accept it.
Okay, KJB, you shaking your head.
No, we don't accept anything from strangers.
Why is he buying you a drink?
Yeah, what's the play here? What's the advantage?
So
if she's out,
I'm not letting my wife go out thirsty.
she don't need no drink, sir. She got enough ticket. And so that's what he was saying. He was like, she can pay for her own drink.
Which I see, that's what I was like, I don't have an issue with it.
Oh, but everybody was calling him controlling.
But I'm
because,
like, there's nothing wrong with the man saying, hey, I don't want my wife to accept free drinks. I don't understand, especially since he gave a reason behind it. It wasn't just like...
Right. He said
his reason?
his rationale was, guys don't just buy drinks without an expectation of something.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's going to either want to talk to you or...
He wasn't doing it out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it just because you're there. And so the people were kind of blowing it up on the show like, oh, he's a control thing, it's a control thing. But what's funny, Coop,
He went out.
A woman brought the group of guys a drink.
Two of them. Only two of the guys.
Two of the guys.
There's only 2 shots. She said 2 shots to the table for him and one other guy. It wasn't for the whole group.
Oh, she said 2 shots.
Yeah.
He about to drink the shot. One of the other guys says, nah. You got a problem with your wife. I love accountability of it all. So it's literally a woman. It's literally a woman doing it. But they say, no.
Same episode, right?
No, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a couple episodes later. Yeah, this is a couple weeks later. And so they out, and a woman sends drinks to the table, and he about to drink the drink, and this other guy said, nah, bro, you can't drink the drink because you would have a problem with your wife getting a drink.
But then we noticed when he about to take the shot, he ain't got his ring on.
Out and about.
Y'all really be on it.
It's getting juicy. Y'all, if I could just, me and Coop gonna do we gonna do a Summer House podcast.
Yep.
Bro, the way we been talking about the But people call him controlling, and some of the other things that we've seen is, so he...
Wait. Do y'all think that's controlling?
Do y'all think that's controlling?
You don't have a problem with the husband setting some type of standard of what he expects from his wife?
I don't think it's controlling because it's an aspect of this is not a regular relationship. This is not a casual relationship. This is husband and wife.
Right.
We hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Right.
So it comes off as controlling for the general public because we're letting y'all see the outside into our relationship.
Right.
But internally, if he already had a conversation and she's already like, she's just showing out for show type thing, now you got me looking crazy on a standard that we already set.
And here we go. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. So we know that a lot of couples started to date in the pandemic.
Right.
People started to get creative. They started to go on Zoom dates. You had all of these like single shows where people were starting to meet during the pandemic. Why does it say it's recording no more?
What happened?
It don't say it's recording.
It does say it's recording.
Brought that up.
Great point, KJB. So one of the things, Silas and Jasmine are recently married. They're recently married. And so they're taking this trip, and this is their first time being around, this is Jasmine's first time being around her friends since she's been married. Mm-hmm. And so we all know that there's a transition that takes place from when you're dating to now you're married. Yeah. You're moving as a one, and your friends are kind of used to you kind of moving by yourself.
Single friends.
You're single friends.
Yes.
This is also Silas's first time seeing Jasmine with her friends. Right. Now, mind you, like a lot of people, they started dating in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. We know during the pandemic, people had all these dating shows because everybody was stuck in the house. Yeah. They started doing Zoom dates, Zoom blind dates, and all this. And so they actually started dating in the pandemic. And so they have pretty much lived their entire relationship isolated. Yeah. It's been just them. Then they get married, it's just them, and now...
Interesting spin on the wedding, I guess. I guess they weren't that close, so they didn't get invited to the wedding.
Maybe they were at the wedding, I don't know. I don't know.
They're her friends.
They probably were at the wedding.
No, they were at the wedding.
They were?
Yeah, they were at the wedding.
That's still different.
That's
still different.
Because you're still... At your wedding, you're very isolated.
I'm going to be honest with you. At your wedding, you performing. Yeah. You ain't really talking to nobody.
Yeah.
Like, at our wedding, we invited our friend... I invited my homeboy in... For him and his girl in from Arkansas, and I didn't even spend no time with them because you going from thing to thing, from pictures to like people coming up to you, pulling you in different directions. So you ain't getting the chance to like chill with your friends.
Right, and if it's somebody at your wedding you don't know, it's not like you're gonna get to know them at your wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
one of the things was he's
trying to discredit the show.
That's what I'm here for.
So one of the things is he's now seeing like, oh, I ain't never seen you with your friends like this.
He's acting totally
Is
different.
this how you act? Is this how you act for real? Because when we at the house, you cool with this. Mm-hmm. And now that we in front of your friends, you got a problem with it. Case in point, apparently at the house, Jasmine cooks breakfast every single day.
As she should.
Queen.
She cooks breakfast every single day.
Yeah.
One of my guys' grievances was the breakfasts ain't been hidden like they were at the crib.
For everybody? He wasn't good for everybody?
No, for her, for him. He's saying...
She messed up his toast.
She messed up like his toast one day, and she was like, here. I mean, I messed it up, but her. She still fed it to him. She still gave it to him. And King was like, yo, we had an understanding and a plan before we got around your little friends. Now, all of a sudden...
She a victim.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you don't want to cook no more. The consistency, the way you do it is totally different now. I got a problem with that. Mm-hmm. And so you start to see over these couple of weeks just all these things where
their relationship's deteriorating.
It's low key kind of deteriorating. It's low key right before. So one of the other things was she was supposed to iron his pants. She messed up the pants. My guy goes off.
That was the last straw.
He's like, go find. He's like, go find a pen, a tie pen, because now we gotta clean up my pants. Because you can't. And then he cussed. He said, you can't effing iron. So now he's frustrated. So you start to see like their relationship deteriorate, and they both can't help but realize like, yo, we start dating in the pandemic, and it's weird to see each other outside the pandemic.
So they
don't really know each other. Yeah. And so one of the things is the girls go out, they didn't get no drinks from people, but they come back a little drunk. Jasmine is with her friends. We ain't seen her act out or nothing like that this whole trip. She go out with her girls, and the girls are
on tables.
Yeah, they dancing on tables.
Acting bad.
Look, yeah, acting bad. Her single friends are like, oh my gosh, this is the Jasmine.
Jasmine's back.
This is the Jasmine we miss.
Yeah.
And
She come in drunk, and he like, what's the problem?
This is not my wife.
This is not my wife.
I don't even know.
I don't like how you be moving when you with your friends. And so it's crazy enough. I was hosting this event, and I'm in between like sets, and I'm backstage with the wife, and I'm asking her, I'm like, yo, your husband, like, he's that guy out here, like, he puts on like a lot of events, and like, y'all low key out here in the community. And she was like, he out here in the community. And I'm like, should I do that? Should I inquire?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what you mean?
Look at that. Let me start a pot.
I'm like, what you mean? This is my guy.
Yeah.
And basically, his wife is like, she's like, yo, we started dating in the pandemic. I didn't know he was this sociable.
Right.
So now we're married. King be dragging me everywhere. I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
And like, I'm showing up, but this is not my natural being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only doing this because he want to be Mr. Socialite.
Yeah.
I want to be Miss Homebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just made me realize, like, people started dating in the pandemic, and it was weird because you don't really know who that person is, like, when they outside.
You don't know that pandemic thing.
You only know pandemic them.
Pandemic Pete.
You only know pandemic them. What?
There's a lot of pandemic people.
There's a lot of pandemic babies too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting that they're navigating that.
I think a lot of times, just like from watching the show, I thought it was interesting how Silas's version of who his wife was didn't align with who she really is.
Yeah.
And now it's conflict. I think that can happen a lot. Not only in relationships, friendships, all different types of stuff.
Right, for sure.
When he finally saw who she really is, I think he doesn't like it, and I think he's in too deep at this point. You know what I'm saying?
He's not in too deep. He just stood before God.
They married now.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably partially, I don't know the content of today's story, but especially if it was in a pandemic, they probably just never seen each other in different environments.
Right. They didn't get an opportunity.
They didn't get an opportunity. And I think it's extremely important no matter what relationship you're in, whether that's like if it's a romantic relationship or if it's friendships, work relationships, you're trying to do business with people and like, oh, this person's, they smart or they business acumen is up there, cool. But have you seen them in a different environment? Do they have the temper? Do they not have the temper? Like, how do they present themselves? I think these are things to pay attention to in every aspect of life, and I think people be short-sighted a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's real easy to avoid liquor when you're in the house, but it's hard to do it when you're at the bar.
But it's,
See, that's deep.
So
it's real easy.
You thought
It's real. I said all that to say it's real easy to do the right thing when you don't have distractions.
Yeah, what you got?
It's harder.
I got something too.
It's harder to do that when you got all these other things going on in your life. And so you went from an isolated event to now we back outside, and now you don't want to do that.
Oh, you don't remember yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing, I think this plays on men's biggest fears.
What?
You marry somebody
And
then
they switch up. Oh my God.
But did she switch up though?
Yeah, because she was making it. I don't agree with his expectations of his wife. We're joking and stuff, right? But obviously, that's a lot, right? But she needs to.
That's controlling.
I don't think it's controlling. I think it's he wants a very submissive wife. I don't know if it's
I
necessarily.
think he just wants a traditional marriage. I don't know if that's submissive. I don't think that's submissive. I just think he wants a traditional marriage.
His wife is making you food
Well,
every day.
I don't think.
Ironing your pants.
I don't think
washing
she.
your drawers.
I don't think she. So I'm gonna be honest, and this is not to say that this is right or wrong, but I don't think Jasmine works. So I think for him, he works. Like even on the show, you see him working. Like a lot of times, you see him with 2 laptops out and he's working. I don't think Jasmine works. So I think for him, he's like, yo, I'm doing the work, so you don't have to work.
Yeah.
My expectation is you just support me. And if that's how they operate their house, that's how they operate their house.
No one would argue that's control.
Well, she signed up for it also.
Coop said, baby, you knew what you got into.
She agreed to this because obviously he's upset because she's switching up on him. So obviously she's been okay with it up to this point.
Well, now her friends are saying, you know, girl, you cook for him every morning. Look. Girl, he can cook. So now it's a problem. Now it's a problem because it's other people. It's other people being like,
they chiming in on their relationship.
They chiming in, single people at
that. That's the issue.
Single people at that. So KJB, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, I mean, now all of us are married, so we've kind of hopefully gone through some level of the situation and moved past it.
Right.
But I guess looking into advice for single people type thing, based off of our experiences, do you feel like it's a necessity to ultimately kind of manufacture situations to be able to get the full perspective of a person? So in this situation, in the pandemic, they never probably went out.
Right.
So he missed that whole aspect of them.
Right.
But as far as before, like that leading up to marriage, do you feel like that's beneficial for people to be like, hey, there's a couple situations that we haven't experienced yet. I need to see how you operate under pressure, how you operate under alcohol, how you operate with your family.
My family.
In a whole different situation that neither one of us is comfortable in. Do you feel like that's beneficial, or is that stretching it?
I think it's beneficial for sure. However, this word manufacturing is very interesting.
Because manufacturing says like,
well, I'm just saying,
manufacturing means because you mean create.
I think it's
the opportunity.
Well, even with that, I feel like you gotta walk that line carefully, because when you're manufacturing these situations,
just to throw her food out, try to see if she gonna piss him out.
When you're manufacturing them and they don't happen naturally, you may be there may be other implications.
Okay, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's beneficial that those things happen naturally. So I think if you could, you need to find a way.
You do need to be like, I do need to hang out with you and your friends.
That's what I say.
I do need to hang around your family. I need you to be around my family.
They're creating pressure.
There's a camera there.
Yeah.
Just say, let me start a fight so I can see how you are with conflict.
To get a full picture of somebody, you do need to be around the people they consider important to them, and the people that know them best already.
Right.
Because you're gonna see how they interact, so you can really see what their personality is.
And them the people they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be probably their truest form with those people.
It's hard to be fake in front of a true friend.
It's hard to be fake because I'm gonna be looking at you like, cool.
Why? Since when?
Why speak with that accent?
Boy, this he don't even like that.
Why you always wearing a suit all of a sudden?
He not even like that for real. Like, you are so right. It is your real friends gonna call you out. And I really think that's really what we see.
Yep.
Her friends calling her out because they like,
that's not you.
Bro, it's not you.
I've never even seen you cook anything.
Like her friends, and you kind of see that, especially with her relationship with one particular person on the show. She's like, that's not you though. You also see her, and I hate when married people do this. You also see her be like, you know how people get married, and they could mean well. They could mean well.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it's almost like they want to talk about marriage to everybody. They want to be, because the goal should be marriage. The goal should be marriage, but we see you struggling. That's not appealing. Like, you over here trying to get people to get married, and your husband cussing you out because you burnt his pants. Bro, that's not appealing. Right, and so you just see all these different things. Like on one of the episodes, she cooks breakfast for him because that's her wifely duty. Yeah. She cooks breakfast for him. She hands it to him, and he takes like a couple bites. And he sets it down, and she's like, "Is everything okay?" And he's like, "You know how I feel about bread." And she's like, "There's no bread on there." He's like, "You know what I mean, starch."
The potatoes.
And she says, "So you're not gonna eat it?" And he says, Probably not. And she gets it, sets it down, and just looks at him. And the look of, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I really, the look in her face was like, bro, what did I just get am I finna go through a lifetime of this? And so it's weird that she's like with her friends, and one, your friends calling you out because they like, this ain't you for real.
Right.
But two, you want to talk to your friends about marriage, but then you and your marriage low-key crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not necessarily telling the whole
Nationally.
you ain't telling the whole story.
Forever.
So it's just kind of interesting, but what all happens when you manufacture some people in the house, according to KJP.
I should totally do it.
But I do agree that you need to see people in all situations. And I think that's ultimately going to be their downfall. He didn't see how she was with her friends.
Not their downfall. This is 2.5 weeks.
He didn't see what she was with her
You can
friends.
judge people on reality TV. That's the fun.
Life comes at you fast.
Life come at you fast, bro. Life come at you fast. You gotta know who somebody really is, bro. You gotta see them. Maybe they like outside and you like inside. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So I want to know from you guys, how do y'all navigate that? Like, how do you navigate when, because let me be very clear, and I sat here on this couch and I told Coop that we were prepared for marriage. And that man said an internship would never prepare you for marriage. And I was like, boy, shut up.
Bro, I done did all the tutorials.
I done did all the tutorials. I done read a Mike Todd book. I done watched the sermon series. We done did premarital counseling. What do you mean, boy? We ready.
Y'all boy jumped off the fake plane. Y'all in the air for real. Y'all don't want to jump no more.
I went to the indoor skydiving.
We did. It was unprepared for the real.
Easy. It's easy. Do a trick, do a backflip.
All you gotta do is
Get up on that plane, you shack yourself.
so realistically, bro, you just when you are now married to somebody, living with someone, you just see a different version of them. So how do you either the and it could be things that are big or small. How do you handle those? How do you handle those different things that you didn't necessarily see at first?
I think it's communication.
Communication. Okay.
So
You went the right way and the wrong way.
Sounds good.
you have
JJ went the right way.
Look, I got plenty of wrong. We might need another podcast.
I say it's communication. Like you gotta be able to address them, and it might be difficult,
Right.
and it don't happen all the time. Like right up front, like it may be trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, right? Right, but you gotta be able to like have a conversation about it. So I think part of it is just speaking to it. Like, hey, let's bring it to the surface so we can both have a conversation about it, give our perspective on it. Because what I also learned is that you come from 2 different perspectives.
Yes.
And so you look at things very differently, and oftentimes in relationships you project how you want your spouse to be is how you are. And so sometimes you gotta be able to show up in that space from their point of view to say like, all right, this is how I show up, which is probably what's causing some of the challenges in the first place, and let's have a conversation about it so we can better understand what is actually happening here.
That's good, JJ. I love that for you and your marriage. I can tell y'all 2 examples for sure. So one is, when we got married, I moved into Olivia's apartment. We didn't get an apartment that was our apartment.
So you live with your girl.
But shut up. First of all, shut up. We both pay them. We both pay them bills. We both pay them bills. That's a world tour. And your girl's
Are you still living with your girl?
was mine, hers, mine. Okay. So one of the things was Olivia used to just have like, she's already been living here. She just likes things a certain type of way.
Yeah.
One thing about me, baby, I play the long game, and I don't forget anything. So like one of the things when I first moved in, Olivia had her laptop. I had moved her laptop because I was working at her desk. I had moved her laptop and I set it on top of our counter. Olivia had a whole hissy fit because she was like, no, the moisture from the from the sink, and when the water's on, it's gonna mess up my laptop. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, my bad, cool. One thing about me, I don't ever forget. Bro, it's done been 7 months later. Olivia was doing something. She moved my laptop to that same place I was at. Over that sink. I said, how dare you? move my brand new laptop, the moisture is going to ruin it. And she was like, touche. I said, no, move it back. Move it back. That was one time. So we got two sinks. Now I just be putting the stuff wherever I put the stuff.
This is bathroom?
No, in the kitchen.
Okay.
Now one thing about me, I'ma clean it out. I'ma clean out the cup, whatever it is. I'm put some little soap in there. I'ma wash it, but I'm gonna put it back in the sink. So Olivia will put all of the dishes on one side. I would just put it didn't matter to me. I'm just putting my dishes in the sink. So I would put my dishes in in the second one where it ain't really no dishes in.
Yeah.
But one day Olivia came home, she was like, it just doesn't make sense to me that you put your dishes in the blah 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 blah. I said,
So you blanked out that part.
I said
You put sink dishes in the clean side.
in the clean side, whatever. I said, oh my bad. I didn't know that that's what it was.
Yeah.
One day, she set her bowl over there. I said, Olivia! She came from the room. She was like, what's going on? I said, you put a bowl on the right side and we don't do that in this house. And she was like, touche. Touche.
She was testing you.
And I say that because no, every time, bro, and I always do this with Olivia, because she'll make big deals when I do stuff, and then when I call her out on it, then she'll be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no. If it was a big deal then, it's a huge deal. You blew it up, I'm gonna blow it up. Now, I've been married a year now.
Yeah.
I know that that's not the right thing to do.
But that's the real thing.
But that's the real thing to do. So in the beginning of our marriage, when stuff like that was happening, because we ain't lived together before, I didn't know you cared that much about what side the dishes go on.
It's all those little things.
It's all those little things that we didn't live together. Because we didn't live together. We interns, but we didn't work together.
Touche.
So I handled a lot of those situations the wrong way because ideally it's not that big of a deal. But sometimes I'll be trying to prove a point.
To you.
Nah, that's a big deal to me. So I think that's an example of handling it the wrong way. I think to JJ's point, the right way is always to communicate like that. KJB, how did you handle those situations?
How am I still handling those? I mean, it's pretty similar. We can get tit for tat. It's a level of chess.
Tit for tat.
We have learned more communication. So it's not vindictive chess, but it's very much so. Oh, you did this. Well, I'm already a step ahead, so I'm doing something else.
To A9.
So we maneuver. We're in the same house, same board.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to maneuver around each other. Sometimes you might get a 1-up. Other time I might get something else. So that's how we kind of maneuver. But communication does solve all.
Yeah. It really does. It really is the key or whatever.
Yeah. Sounds good.
But yes, in conclusion, watch Summer House. And then secondly, manufacture situations. So you can see how people...
You want better for everybody.
It's just better for everybody. It's better for everybody. JJ, what you got?
So I think it's interesting because we're talking about how people show up in different spaces.
Right.
I just finished listening to this audiobook called Relentless. It's by Tim S. Grover. Tim S. Grover is the trainer he was a trainer for Michael Jordan, for Kobe Bryant, right? So he wrote a book called Relentless, going from good to great to unstoppable.
Okay, good to great to unstoppable.
Good to great to unstoppable. So what he does in the book is he kind of outlines like 3 different type of people. He puts them in 3 different categories. He categorizes them by cooler, closer, and cleaner. And then he kind of talks throughout the book of like what makes up somebody a cleaner, which is his reference to an unstoppable person. He has these principles like that he talks about throughout the book about like what makes him a cleaner and things like that. I ain't trying to get into all that, but I do want to just give y'all some context about like what each category is, and kind of just see like how y'all feel about it or like where y'all feel like y'all relate to. So to give y'all some context, the first category was cooler, and a cooler is careful. He waits to be told what to do, watches to see what everybody else is doing, and then follows the leader. He's a mediator, not a decision maker. He's not taking sides unless he's forced to. He can handle a certain amount of pressure when things are going well, but when things get too intense, he He kicks the problem over to someone else. He can make a huge play, but he's not ultimately responsible for the outcome. He's the setup guy, keeping things cool until the closer or cleaner can take over. The closer, it says, a closer can handle a lot of pressure. He'll get the job done if you put him in the right situation and tell him exactly what you need him to do. He'll study all sorts of scenarios so he can anticipate what might happen, but he's uncomfortable when faced with something unexpected. He seeks attention and credit, and he's very aware of what everyone else is doing and what others think of him. He loves the rewards and perks associated with his fame and would choose financial security over winning or success. And then lastly, the unstoppable is the cleaner. Cleaners are rule breakers when they have to be. They only care about the end result. When things go wrong and everyone else starts to panic, the cleaner is calm and unflappable, cool and steady, never too high or too low, never too happy or too depressed. He never sees problems, only situations to resolve. And when he finds the solution, he doesn't waste time explaining it. He just says, I got this. And when it's over, he gets the results. All the others just stand there, shaking their heads in disbelief, wondering how he did it. Failure is never an option. Even if it takes years, he'll find a way to turn a bad situation to his benefit, and he won't stop until he succeeds.
Cleaners, closers, and
Coolers,
closers,
and cleaners. Good, great, and unstoppable. And like that's just a kind of summary.
Right.
Throughout the book, he's giving examples.
like real life scenarios.
Oh, real life scenarios, because he gives examples of like his time with Michael Jordan, like what makes Michael Jordan a cleaner. His examples with Kobe Bryant, what makes Kobe Bryant a cleaner. And then he talks a lot about sports because that's the industry that it's in.
Right.
Yeah.
But he also equates it to like business and like other areas too, like these top elite of the elite, right? Like now we're not talking about like, oh, you just made it to the NBA, or
Right.
you just made it to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do that.
Those are people are great. Those typically are closers. But like the cleaners are the goats. You know, like what makes somebody a cleaner.
Right.
So like even though that's a summary, I'm just curious. Kind of where do y'all see yourselves in those three type of categories? I'm gonna just lay it up.
I can tell you right now, I might be a bench warmer. I feel like at one time I was more of a cleaner. I would say if I have to choose one of these, it would be a cooler right now. Just capacity.
I reject that.
For perspective, can we shift it down?
What you mean?
Because I mean, when I'm looking at this in the lens of MJ, Kobe being the
Yeah,
bar.
right.
But like, are you the goat of your life? Like, do you like? I guess I think about it like, if you're a cleaner,
Oh, y'all need to read the book then. Or listen to the book. What you trying to shit what down?
He kind of the, I guess overall the bar.
Yeah,
I'm trying to move the bar. See, you ain't like you easily a cooler trying to move the bar because you don't want to have to rise up.
I'm trying to give our listeners perspective.
Okay, no, so I think even in today's terms, a cleaner would be somebody who does what they say they're gonna do. It says that they keep calm and they're unflappable. They're never too high, never too low, never too happy, never too depressed. They never see problems, only situations to resolve. Actually, I reject what Coop said. I think Coop is a cleaner. I think Coop is a cleaner. One of the things it says
in my past life.
It says it says failure is never an option, even if it takes years. One thing that I've learned about Coop will play the long game. Coop is not trying to. He ain't got to get to it today, tomorrow. He will, if he can get to it in a couple of years, he's okay with that. So, bro, I would say you're a cleaner.
In certain aspects, I can see that.
Okay, well, if you don't want it,
No, I accept it.
nah, you're a cooler. You're a cooler boy. Huh?
What are you?
Oh, I'm for sure.
Doing a lot of dictating.
I'm for sure a closer. I ain't no cleaner, and I ain't no cooler. But I'm a closer. It says a closer can handle a lot of pressure. He'll get the job done. If you put him in the right situation and tell him exactly what he needs to do. I don't seek attention and credit. But he's very aware of what everyone else is doing and what other thinks of him. He loves the rewards and perks associated with the fame, but would choose financial security over winning or success. I'm a closer, bro.
So you think you're great, but you're not unstoppable.
Nah, because you give me the right kind of pressure, I'm stopping. Easily. I will, bro. If I get too panicked at work, Olivia come into the middle of the day, I just be laying in bed. She be like, what's going on? I be like, I just got overwhelmed. It became too much. I just need a little 15-minute lay me down.
That's funny.
Yeah, bro. I easily will stop. So KJB, what do you think you are?
As much as I want to be a cleaner, I think I'm a closer right now.
Okay, but you're working towards.
You're working towards being a cleaner.
At the beginning of my day, I can see myself being a cleaner.
Boy.
Fatigue wears in.
Justin, by noon, you definitely a cooler.
But yeah, it starts to weigh in as far as like, there's a difference, I think, like I said, when I put in the mentality of Kobe and MJ as far as like being unstoppable, like there's almost like a no level of like a break.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, I have an opportunity,
Always
I'm pushing forward.
Right.
And that's why I felt like a little bit of difference. Like when I focus, I can continue, I can go type of thing. But I have incorporated more rest, and that also kind of has been more like, okay, let's chill out a bit type thing.
Yeah.
But I have that drive as far as like I want to keep on going. I think I've just incorporated rest, so that kind of puts me in a median.
Okay, I can see that.
So like I said in the beginning, before I have to take an actual break, like yeah, I'm good. Like there's nothing that's stopping me right now.
Mm-hmm. I can accept that.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty true. If it wasn't, I was gonna call you out.
I think I have additional context because I listened to the book. So like this is a summary, but like,
nah, just say what you think you are.
no, I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
He's a cooler.
I'm saying that in reference to y'all's reasons or the examples that y'all are giving.
He's cool as an ice cube.
Because in the book, bro, the examples that he gives is in like the work ethic and everything that goes into being a cleaner and a cooler and a closer is like he just don't. It's just intensified, right? Like it just goes. For me, I would say I'm more along the lines. I think I fall probably most in the closer category.
Okay.
Right? There are things that I can identify honestly with cooler. Like there are times where I'm like, I may be like a little bit like, I may kind of be a little chill. I may be a little lax.
Yeah. That cooler sound real passive.
Yeah, but there's also things in cleaner that I can identify with.
Right.
But, ultimately, I would say probably a closer is where I would put myself.
I can agree with that. I think it's hard because if you've ever been around a cleaner, it's very clear to you that you're not a cleaner.
You can tell who cleaners are. I'm gonna start saying that when I'm around people. I'm gonna just start being like, he a cleaner.
That Chrysler look like a what is it? Like a Bentley to a Bentley pull up.
And I think that's part of it. Like I've been around a cleaner, and I'm like, oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
Real talk.
That's not me.
Real talk, and I'll shout out. I feel like the one cleaner that I know is Ecom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he for sure.
Ecom is the cleaner, bro. Like if you ever just talk to him,
Custodian.
bro.
Custodian work.
I honestly, I don't think I have met anybody with that mentality.
It's that much focus.
And that's within like my personal circle, right? Like you hear about Kobe and
He ain't really like that.
He'll handle it. Envious. He take envious.
To even take it on like the extreme of extremes, and we talking like, in the book we talking like NBA athlete, elite athletes. We talking Kobe and Michael. Tim Grover puts LeBron as a closer. He don't put
LeBron as a cleaner?
No, here's why. He puts Kobe, he puts Michael, and he puts he puts D Wade.
Oh, okay.
He puts D Wade as a cleaner?
He worked with all of them. But he's talking.
He worked with LeBron too?
He worked with LeBron. Well, he doesn't say he works with LeBron, but he worked around LeBron. But he talks about LeBron's mindset.
Yeah, mentality.
If he worked around D Wade, then he probably was around LeBron.
And he says that why most people would categorize LeBron as a cleaner and he's not a cleaner. The Wade is the cleaner. And he explains why in that situation. But I'm just saying, like, most people think that LeBron is a closer. But it's actually a pretty interesting.
I mean, let's be clear. None of them are bad.
No.
Like, none of them are bad.
The base is great, right?
Yeah.
Good? Okay.
Yeah, like, none of them are bad. Like, some people, bro, there's a guy I know at work, and this man, he just like, hey, I'm going to do my job.
Yeah.
Y'all may not get nothing extra, but y'all pay me to do the job. I'm going to do my job. And I'm logging off at 5:30, and that is okay for him.
Right.
He's a cooler. He's like, I'm good with this. Like, I'm unconcerned. I am unbothered. I am unmoved. Yeah. And he may just be like that. I do think some people can be like that in certain situations, and then different in
I was
other
about to say, you
situations.
don't feel like that overflows to even to his passions? That at times
I don't know. It
switches
could.
to his passions?
I don't really know him outside of work, but
I'm thinking about Kiana. I think she's closer, fringe, cleaner. Just like on her drive, just like when she does something. If she has a task that needs to be done,
she gonna get it done.
She will work until 6 a.m. the next morning to get it done.
That's cleaner. That's cleaner mentality. Join the team. I'm stoppable. I am not. You can take that on off. I am stoppable.
I'm religious.
Drop a new book.
I'm gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I'm stoppable.
I've literally seen Kiana do something. I go to sleep, I wake up, and she's still doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell you what it was.
I'm gonna tell you shit.
Let me just tell you.
No, but for real, bro. I'm just like amazed. I'll be amazed.
I bet you were.
No, bro, that's dope. I think, and this is what I think what Justin meant by his point earlier. Like, you can be a cleaner in your life.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about the LeBron James and them and all that, but like, you can be a cleaner with parenting. You can be a cleaner at your job. You can be a cleaner like with your passions and the things that it just ain't on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't on that level. And arguably, what you're doing matters. Like, they're doing that from an NBA perspective, but what you do matters. Like, you can do that on your
thing, bro. You're trying to. I get it.
You're saying I'm bringing it down?
No, bro.
I'm watering it down?
Yeah, you're trying to validate.
You're trying to rationalize.
That's not the point of the book.
Yeah.
The book is talking about people who are relentless, unstoppable. That's
Regardless
cool.
of the story.
Majority of people are not cleaners.
If you don't qualify, you don't qualify.
You're just not a cleaner. That's
Can you wake up and just decide I'm gonna be a cleaner and then act like that moving forward?
Yeah, did he say that you can build this skill, or is it something that you're born with?
No, you can build it. It's a mindset. So he's like, that's why he goes into details about like the principles, but also like what separates people from cleaners.
Yeah, because it's a sacrifice.
Like, even when I'm listening to the book, he's like, most of you probably are this way, but you can be a cleaner. Like, you can operate in this path.
This sounds like a good book, JJ.
So,
I might actually go read.
So here's my you can listen to it.
Cooler.
You know why I don't tell you this book? He says in there, he says cleaners don't try. They don't might do something. They do it. They just get it done. There's no might. No try.
I'm gonna let JJ ride out because he said, "Let me tell you why you a cooler. You better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth.
You're a mighty man.
mighty duck."
Where are we gonna fly be?
Oh my gosh, bro! Oh my gosh!
It is a really good book, bro.
I have a question. Bro. So, what was the first thing to move towards a cleaner? What's the first thing you need to do? It's like set a goal.
Is it steps?
It's more principles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more principles. It's not necessarily steps. So I think that's probably part of the book. There's not like a how-to.
Yeah.
More so. It's just more like a...
It's like, you're stuck, figure it out.
No, it's not even like you're stuck, figure it out. It's more like, here's the principle of the mindset you need to have. How do you get it?
Yeah, you create your desire.
You gotta do it.
You know what? And I think it's good.
Because he says it the whole time, like, he can't, if he tells you how to do it, then you're not a cleaner.
So I think it's dope that you said there's principles in it. I think it's dope.
I need a blueprint.
I think it's dope that you say it's principles instead of steps.
Yeah.
Because if I could tell you how to do something, if I tell you exactly how to do something, if you don't understand the principle behind it, and you're in a new situation, that same situation can be calling you to do that exact same thing, but you're so fixated on, in this step, I do X, Y, and Z, that in a new situation where you should be using that exact same skill, you don't do it because you don't understand the principle behind it. That was deep. Y'all better give me my...
And the fact that it says a cleaner literally breaks the rules.
Yeah.
So if you're following steps, there's rules that you're following. You can't.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's really good. It's
Don't
really
break
good.
some rules.
But
Sorry, I was trying to be a cleaner.
Cleaners don't apologize. Yeah.
they don't apologize for their greatness.
Yeah.
I ain't saying sorry no more.
Deal with it.
I ain't saying sorry no more.
I win.
Wow, bro. Bro, I think that book would be good for the next generation to read.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good book. I definitely say it's a good book, but I will say that it's interesting listening to it. I think, because, books like that, they put people in categories. I think that you could probably flow back and forth between, like, being a close, like the 3 different C's. I feel like you could probably flow back and forth between that. And also, it's just interesting to think about just the mindset that you need to have behind that.
So, if I came in here and I just really started moving like a cleaner, y'all gonna still be my friend?
Cleaners don't think about that. That's why I put so much emphasis on Kobe and
like
MJ. Kobe did not
MJ
care.
They don't give a damn.
Let me read it to you, bro.
Bro, he literally gives examples. He's like Kobe and MJ. He's like, he's like, their job is to score. They don't care if people are calling them a ball hog, calling them this or that, what the media saying, what people say. They don't give a damn about
I hate you, Kobe commercial.
They don't care.
Listen, bro. Coolers are liked. Closers are respected.
Yeah.
Cleaners are feared, then respected for doing what
I don't
everyone
think nobody
feared they do.
I think nobody fears
Nobody fears you. I like you, bro.
Yeah.
I like you.
Real likable.
Do you want to be likable?
Real likable.
I want to be hated. What I gotta do? Hate me. Hate me.
Oh, bro.
No, bro. I just feel like if you really try to change, bro, you're gonna have to be prepared to lose some of your friendships. You're gonna have to sacrifice, because if you just switched up and start moving real different, it's almost like if you don't prepare people for that, if you don't prepare people, cool.
But people
We're still gonna be friends. Cool. We're still gonna be friends. You're gonna be friends with me.
Oh, they thought they was my friend.
But it is sacrifices. He says, like, people who are cleaners, whatever they're a cleaner in, usually something else falls to the wayside.
Yeah.
So
That's like our other talk.
So like
all that
relationships
stuff.
fall, or whatever else it is may fall.
You said bye to me?
It's been real,
It's been real, bro. Hey, I love each and every one of y'all, bro.
Hey, bro, be cool.
Yeah. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal.
I like you, man. That's a good song. I'm gonna fear somebody singing.
Yo, I bet our listeners are like, shut up. All right, bro, look, I'm moving. I'm changing. Like a butterfly. So,
I like butterflies.
No, so I really think everybody should what we'll do is when we drop the episode, we'll post the link on our story, so you can go and read more about it, the article that JJ shared with us. And we really want you to put what you are. Like, you ain't gotta tell us.
Survey?
Also,
Nah, ain't gonna be no survey.
Also, life hack. If you like audiobooks and listening to books, I downloaded the Lydia app. If you have a library card, you can just listen to the audio for free.
For free?
For free.
Without Audible?
You don't need Audible. It's a library. You just reading the book.
It's a hack.
It's a hack. Life hack.
Oh yeah, I did hear the library got audio.
Why do y'all think I've been listening to these audiobooks? I'm like,
I'm pretty sure they got the book. You can go check it out.
what are you talking about?
But I'm saying you can listen to it for free instead of using
Yeah, fool.
I'm saying, like, if you have a library card, you can just go get the book from the library.
But he wants
If you want to listen to the
Life
audio,
hack.
if you want to listen to the audio,
not everybody has time to read like you.
Audio books sound real coolerish.
this is a life hack for audiobooks, not regular books.
Y'all sound disrespectful.
I don't listen to no coolers, bro. I don't even see you. Ice Cube. We be clubbing.
Oh my God.
move on.
Okay. All right, we have a letter. Voice letter, audible letter.
Not a strawberry letter.
From a listener. And they're getting married and they want to know
In Nebraska.
in Nebraska. And they want to know, how do you go about choosing your groomsmen?
Oh.
And so basically, we can speak up the dilemma a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't give away too much information. So basically, they've had somebody that they've grown up with, they consider like a brother, but they've grown to realize that there might be a little bit of envy, possibly envy, or some other type of issue with them, right? But they were really close at one time. They're not as close now. So it's like, he's wondering, maybe, is that the type of person that you should add to as a groomsman, or is there a different type of person that you want as far as your groom squad?
So I think the best way to handle this is maybe all of us should just go around and give what is a quality that you use to pick your groomsmen. Because we were talking about this, that before we got married, there really ain't no rule book. Like, nobody tells you how you're supposed to pick your groomsmen, how you're supposed to even pick your best man, like what their roles and duties are. So I want to know from y'all, and hopefully this helps the listener. Cool, what made you either pick your groomsmen, or what was the quality that did make you pick somebody else?
Or what did you learn from how you went through the process?
Oh yeah, what did you learn?
Man, big mistake picking my groomsmen.
No,
Not all of them. I did pretty good. I left probably one person out. I mean, I definitely left one person out that should have been a groomsman, and then that's pretty much it. I probably added one person that shouldn't necessarily have been a groomsman, but it was a numbers game at that point.
Talk about it.
Yeah, but I left somebody out, and it was based off distance and inconveniencing them, and I didn't even give them the opportunity to let me know if they were able to do it or not.
Okay.
So I should have, and that's something I should have, at least talked to them about. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I based it off of where I was at in my life at the time. That was my first level of groomsmen, and then I picked people that I couldn't tell my life story without them, basically. So, and then some of them didn't. I mean, one of them didn't show up to the wedding, and that's one of the person that I can't tell my life story without. As a matter of fact, this is the guy who introduced me to my wife, so it only makes sense that he was a groomsman in my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how I picked it. So in the situation that the listener asked us about, I think if y'all are in a decent space, and this is somebody you feel you can't tell your life story without, I don't see a problem having them as a groomsman. They don't have to be the best man.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're gonna look at these pictures, and this person meant something to you. When you with your grandchildren, like, who is this? So you got a story to tell about this person, and it's gonna be a good reminder in my mind.
No, that's good. That's good. So cool. One of the things that you said, and this isn't for me, but I was recently in a wedding, and I've probably known Kelly. Shout out to my boy Kelly. I've probably known Kelly for only about 2-3 years. And he asked me to be a groomsman in his wedding. And what I realized was that all of us, everybody with the exception of his brother, none of us grew up with him. But we all met him through either like church or like a Bible study or church and a Bible study. And his rationale was, I want men of God around me who are going to help me and hold me accountable in this new season of marriage. And so although we weren't his day ones, right now we were like, I would say probably some of the most influential people to him regarding from his spiritual growth perspective.
Right.
And he said he wanted men of God standing behind him. And with the exception of his brother, all of us were married.
Right.
So all of us were married men with the exception of his brother, who was his best man. And so I think when it comes to your groomsmen, to your point, you want to pick people who they may not necessarily be your day ones, but they are people that you trust in this season of life.
Right.
And there also should be people that can tell you about yourself if you're tripping. Right. So like the whole idea is, as a married man, hey, your wife should be able to call me and be like, yo, he tripping.
Right.
Like, come get your boy, because I don't know what he on,
Right.
but like he bugging out, and
Right.
I should be able to say less,
Right.
and come to him and be like, yo, hey, bro, you wilding out.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe everybody who was a groomsman in my wedding, everybody in this room, and everybody who's not in this room, I could call if I'm bugging out, or Olivia could call y'all. And if y'all came to me and said, hey, bro, you wilding out, I would listen.
Facts. Like, bro, you really ain't no cleaner.
Everybody with the exception of one person. But Olivia would call y'all. She could call y'all. She has all y'all's numbers. And she could say, yo, y'all boy wilding out, and I need somebody to talk to him. And if any of y'all came to me, I would listen.
Right.
So I think that also has to be something that you take. They don't necessarily have to be a day one, but it do need to be somebody that you are able, that you will allow to hold you accountable if you wild it out.
I think that's good, bro. I think for me also, I had people that were groomsmen at my wedding from different walks of my life. So I had groomsmen from my childhood, like boys that I was there, boys with from my childhood. I had groomsmen from college, and from two different big and huge, like impactful areas of my life in like college, and we still maintain a friendship till today. But also kind of the same things that you said, like, do they have a relationship with me and my wife?
Right.
Like, can I see them in the future? Do they add value to my life? Like, these are the things that I'm kind of like looking to the criteria, I guess, for lack of better words, to be able to determine who you want to have by your side.
So can I ask you a question? You said add value to your life. Are these people that you talk to every day, every week? Like, do you have to always be in communication with them for them to add value to your life?
Well, I think that's it. I don't think that you always have to be in communication for them to add value in general. But I think if you're trying to pick a groomsman, I think that there should probably be some level of frequency when you're having this conversation.
Right.
Like, you can still, like, people can still have value in your life. You don't talk to them for a while, you talk to them again. That just could be the type of people that you have, the relationships you build. But I think when you're talking groomsmen, you're talking about somebody that's also, when I think of a groomsman, I think of somebody who, when I'm going through a low or a valley, like, that person can be there to, like, help, encourage, empower, support, accountability, whatever that looks like in my marriage.
Right.
Like, y'all are people that are here to say, hey, I witnessed this. Also, I'm by your side as you're navigating through whatever life throws at y'all's way. So if you're not talking to somebody on a regular basis or a frequency, then, like, what happens when those situations happen? Like, do you have somebody that you actually doing life with or not? Like,
that's good.
So that's what I'll say.
That's good.
Well, dang, there's kind of nothing else left.
Okay, you can give us a quality that you would not pick to be a groomsman.
I don't think I want that one either.
Oh, you disagree with anything that everybody said? Okay.
No, it's pretty straightforward. I think for mine, I took the aspect also a little bit of less is more type thing. Because of so much that goes into your groomsman, your best man type thing, like, and knowing that you have a high expectation for your day and your life, it's kind of like, okay, the more people you add on to this, the more areas for disappointment there could be.
That's true.
So when I went through all that levels of evaluation type thing, there's people that are very still close to me type thing that have potential to be up there.
Yeah.
My thing was, I made a clear-cut decision as far as, like, for my group, because it's only 3 people.
Right.
that
Did Kim have more?
no, we balanced out.
No,
Yeah,
okay, 3.
we both did less is more.
Okay.
And I mean, Dante, JJ, French.
Yeah.
Alexi is up there, but I mean,
Yeah.
in that moment, Alexi was great.
Yeah.
Now at 15, we could cut that picture short. Yes. But I was like, all right, these are people ultimately, like I said, like Dante said, like, I can trust completely 100% with my wife. If I was to go, they could be a full part of my family. They can handle all type of responsibilities. They've been through my life through highs and lows. Even like I try to analyze in different ways, because when you go through the process, you try to like, okay, can I fit somebody else on there? These are the people I talk to the most.
Right.
There's nothing even close.
Right.
Like sometimes I talk to them more than I talk to my parents.
Right.
So it's like, that made it a lot easier for me to make a clear-cut decision.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back end, what I did was I included other people in my whole celebration
Right.
throughout the rest of the process. So we'll get into more of that. But like that's how I made the coverage that everybody was included.
Right.
These aren't the only people who have influence in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But when I need to make a decision who was going to step up on that platform with me,
Mm-hmm.
between me, my wife, and God, I was like, everybody can't come for that. Like,
Yeah.
I needed to be very intentional about that.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think that's big. I think that's big. And so to your point, when you say it's okay to include people in the celebration, like I wasn't in Coop's wedding, but I was in Coop bachelor party.
Right.
Like you just because somebody
A good
isn't.
time was had.
Nah, I'm finna tell the truth about it. Let me tell y'all something. This sidebar. Let me tell you who you don't want to be in your wedding. People who broke.
Oh, that's.
And let me tell you why. It ain't that they ain't happy for you.
What Coop didn't have you in his wedding?
No, he wasn't. I'm gonna get back to that. Let me tell you who you don't want to invite to your bachelor party either. People who broke. But I'll circle back. But you don't want people who are broke because instead of being able to really celebrate this momentous occasion for you, they gonna be fixated the whole time on, oh, I gotta buy this, I gotta pay for this, it's too much money, I don't have the money for this. And even if they may stress themselves out to get it all done, they're not going to fully be able to enjoy the moment and your moment and support you in that moment because they're broke. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. I promise you, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means financially, if you can't pay, just say no.
Just leave a like on the picture.
Yeah, it'll be easier. It'll be easier for everybody because also the expectation is when you sign up to be somebody in somebody's wedding party, you're saying I'm going to be here for the wedding day and pay, but I'm also gonna be at your celebration. If y'all having bridal parties and all that type of stuff, I'm gonna be there too. And there is a big cost that is associated with that. Yeah. It's okay to say, hey, I don't want to be in the wedding party, but bro, I would love to celebrate you, and I would love to be a part of all your celebrations.
That's the most honest thing. And I mean, one of the things that the listener asked about is ultimately like, there's no guide to this.
Yeah.
So I think we can take a little bit of time just breaking down all the things that went into being part of wedding parties.
Okay.
We all were part of each other type thing.
One, gotta get the suit.
Suit.
Gonna cost. I kept it cheap, and that's just cause that's my style. I don't spend money on stuff like that.
But cheap is still a cost.
Yes, so my suit was like,
and cheap is relative.
I think mine was like $150.
We also gotta think you've been married the longest. Inflation.
That's pretty true.
You know,
Yeah.
And when you got married, boys was at a different season of life. Boys were making the money that boys have now.
We went to K&G's. Got the full fit tuxedo shirt.
Hey, I still got
Everything.
it though.
For real?
Yeah,
I have
I've been wearing it.
The other day, I wore a tuxedo shirt that was more expensive than my whole wedding suit. And it was like,
Are you going to tell us what the come up look like?
We talking about them steps too?
just how much it changed. But so you got suits, you got freaking trips,
The bachelor party.
the bachelor party.
Which should be planned by the best man.
The best man needs to plan the bachelor.
The groom should not have anything.
The groom should not be stressed.
The groom should not be stressed. In fact, we were talking about this earlier. It should be, hey bro, I'm gonna pick you. Take off these days. I'm gonna pick you up. We flying out. We're gonna meet you at the airport. I remember we met JJ at the airport.
Yep. He didn't know where he was going.
He didn't know where he was going. We literally was like, see you at the airport.
Yep.
We met JJ at the airport. JJ walks in. He like, what are y'all doing here? Boy, you know what we're here for.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Me?
And I don't think you knew where we were going.
Nah, I didn't.
Not-
I didn't. Not directly. And then we flew into the city that we didn't stay in. I was like, oh.
Cause we flew into Atlanta.
I ain't never been before.
But the best man should be planning all of that, paying for all of that. One of the best man duties. You need to have something that's alike like everybody else. Y'all can do jerseys. Y'all can do hats.
Yeah.
It could be,
It's a form of a gift.
It's a form of some type of gift you're also giving people, but there should be a day where everybody wears the groom gonna wear his hat or jersey, everybody else gonna have a groomsman or just I'm with the groom or something like that.
So it costs money, bro.
It costs money.
Are y'all opposed to this though?
What's up?
Can the best man lean on the groomsman for financial support in The Bachelor?
Definitely.
I think he could.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
I
what
just-
it
I
is.
would
yeah.
encourage.
Yeah. Because
That's a
essentially,
lot to burden.
essentially, the only person that's not paying, essentially everybody's coming together to pay for the groom the entire weekend or whatever the festivities
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So you're taking the groom's payment and you're splitting that across
Yeah,
however
'cause you're
many,
covering them.
however many people.
But I mean,
come
that's
on
why
the trip.
this comes into great conversation because it's important about all the groomsmen that you pick. You can have 6 groomsmen and 4 of them are good, but the 2 can't.
Now
Right.
they
So now they part of the burden and the challenge.
Yeah.
Now we can't be paying for you and the groom.
right.
You might need to stay at home.
Right.
Or take a loan out. So for cool bachelor party, I hit my granddad up. I said, Granddad, can I borrow a couple of hundo?
Yep.
I was in a different season.
Yep.
I know.
Oh yeah, yes.
Grandpa, shout out to
Yes.
Grandpa.
And then I get to Vegas with these fools and they want to be section boys 2 days. I mean, 2 sections in 1 day.
We gotta do the same party,
Bro,
I
I told Daniel, I said, these funds looking real low. I need
Section hoppers.
It's
you know
time
what I mean?
to go. But
Now we
yeah.
gonna be gym pop. Who does that?
But yes, you should be splitting that cost. Now I will say that's a burden, bro. Like you don't.
You also gotta think about just the commitment aspect of it. too.
Yeah.
Right.
So like you do got all the financial costs, but you're expected to be at the thing at whatever events that are happening. So that's
Bachelor,
if it's the
dress rehearsal.
dress rehearsal, it's the dinner. What do you call it? The dinner before, the night before.
No, that's the
Dress
dress
rehearsal.
rehearsal.
Yeah,
That's
dress
dress
rehearsal.
rehearsal. But fittings.
Yeah,
So-
I was about to say, as a good groomsman, I think your best man can open the invite type thing, but you want to be as much as a alleviance from the groom as possible.
Yeah.
So that means, I mean, there's an aspect I remember even for JJ type thing. Who has checked in on JJ?
Mm-hmm.
We're all in this group and we're talking, but like, have you talked to JJ?
Right.
Like, do you know what's actually going on? We're talking about the groomsmen in this aspect, but the actual event is still with the groom. The
Yeah.
groom
Right.
has to do a
Right.
lot of mental work to get up to that
Right.
point.
Yep.
Right.
So I want to make sure I put that in there as far as like, there's the financial aspect, but there's also like the mental.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make sure you can make that person makes it to the day of.
Yep.
Right.
And just because I was married before, day of the wedding, do not call if you're a groomsman, do not talk to the groom. Go through the best man. That's
Yes.
the best
Yeah.
man's job.
That's the best man.
So
job.
day of the wedding, I'm calling Justin. What does JJ need?
Yeah.
Type thing. So because you know their phone's probably blown up by people that don't know not to.
We
call.
did, because then we had to go like
Yeah,
buy
we
stuff.
picked stuff up.
Yeah, we like went to the
Appreciate
store,
y'all.
picked
Yeah.
stuff up for JJ. Bro, it was
That's the
Lord.
job. The groom is supposed to have the best day of his life.
Yeah.
He's supposed to make sure everything goes perfectly, and any problem, the best man, first of all, can divvy out the jobs to the groomsman, or the best man can handle it himself if it's possible.
Yeah.
I think these are all things that you have to think about when you're picking your
Yes.
group. So when it comes down to like our listener talk, like you might have lifelong friends.
Mm-hmm.
They might have been right there with you through the mud.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got out the mud and they ain't necessarily get out,
They still stuck in the
still
mud.
in there,
Hey,
y'all
don't
are
get
still
dirty.
cool.
Don't
Yeah.
get dirty.
You got to think about your
That's a good
experience.
Yeah.
Because I can say, we talk about like the road up to this is such a process.
And it's stressful.
Yes.
It is so stressful.
Yeah.
Because y'all handling as grooms, you're handling the actual planning of the day
Yes.
Right.
with your wife. That might be y'all first time working on a project together. So y'all trying to work through that. It's stressful, and your groom, like, they should just make sure that you have fun,
Yeah.
you're not stressed, and sometimes that ain't your day ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not your day
I will
ones.
say the way I went about it is the people that were my day ones that I didn't expect much from them, and they didn't go on the bachelor trip. If you noticed,
Yeah.
they were. I was expecting them to show up at my
Okay.
wedding, and one didn't. So it wasn't. They weren't necessarily a burden to me. It was like you're invited if you can make it type thing.
Yeah. So you level set.
I level set.
Yeah.
Like okay. They're not
Coop kept his expectations low the entire time. But you should have people who are like, although this ain't even the expectation, let's do it. Like, let's go get it. Like, let's go.
Los was the best man. He went all out. He made
2
everybody spend
sections,
money.
1 day. I I was like, we did not agree on this. This is not what we talked about in that group
We had a
text.
tour guide of Las Vegas.
This is not what we talked about.
Hey, I had a blast.
No, I had a great time. It was fun. I actually had a time
Yeah.
at every single one of y'all's bachelor parties. And my hope is that y'all had a time and that also getting out to the altar, y'all were like, yo, I'm good, bro. Like, I am.
I've had enough.
I'm ready. He should be running. He should be running towards the altar. You can't wait. Yeah. You want him to be like, I want to leave this behind.
More than I can.
I've had more than I can.
They knew me too well.
I need water. So yes, bro. So hopefully that answered the listener's question.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answered this question. I know it's kind of out of context. So if you have any additional questions, let us know. But please remember, don't let nobody broke do it. I don't care. Most importantly, don't let nobody broke do it. It will change your entire experience.
Yeah.
It will change your entire experience.
You gotta pay to play.
You gotta pay to play.
100%.
You gotta pay to play. You already knew what was going on. So, fellas, that's
time.
That's that time.
Yep.
So do we have a soundbite of the week?
Do we?
He's the one that from IG.
What? He looked like that woman in that courtroom. So
Like, when's the last time y'all had sex?
While Big KJB finds that, hey y'all, just like teachers go on summer vacation, we going on summer break. Man, it's been busy. We got some trips coming up.
Yeah.
Boys just busy. We are in a season of business, and so we're gonna take a little summer break. We ain't gonna be gone long.
Yeah.
We know y'all gonna miss us, but we will be back. We'll be back, and so we just want to let y'all know because we didn't want y'all looking for weekly episodes, and we not there.
Right.
But with that being said, we love y'all. Let's jump into the soundbite of the week.
Hopefully this isn't too conflicting.
What is that?
The soundbite of the week is, the cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived.
And on that note, that's why y'all good. That's why y'all good.
Bunch of coolers.
That's why you good. That's why you ever read it again.
The cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived.
I'm stoppable.
I'm stoppable.
Can
we get a book cover?
Unstoppable. Please. Hey, man. We appreciate y'all, bro. Hey.
Or you could be looking at it. You know,
Hey, man, if you want to keep up with the show, please follow us on Instagram. That's where we're going to have all the updates. That's when you'll know when we're about to drop another episode at the Soundboard Podcast. You can also follow us on our individual profiles. Please don't forget, if you haven't, please go on YouTube. We need you to comment, like, and subscribe. We thank y'all. We see the views going up, but please leave some comments, man. If you thought something was good.
Go watch the episode again.
Yeah, go watch the episode again. Put it on in the background. Whatever you feel is necessary. But please go check us out on there. And if you haven't, leave us a review on your favorite audio website. If you want to keep up with your boy Dante, you can follow me at Dante Speaks Life.
You can find me at thisiscoop_.
I'm on social, but you can find me.
When you gonna get back on social?
I'm gonna get on soon.
You said that last time.
You did say that last time.
It's gonna be soon.
So when's the last time you opened the app? You ain't opened the app at all.
No, I opened the app from the soundboard page.
So you must be creeping on the sound.
Yeah, he be creeping. Let me go see what what's your collar look like.
Let me clear.
Let me see what our explore page look like. Let me see what our explore page.
Nah, get on there.
Big booties.
Do y'all miss it?
No, not really. I don't miss it. The only thing
You have your books, right?
only thing is I don't necessarily.
You think you're better than us?
JJ have been over here because all I see is smart stuff.
I don't know. I just don't be knowing stuff that be trending. That's the thing. So I would miss out on those things. Like as far as missing stuff, not really.
Not really. I got you.
That's all good. All things Big KJP and Just a Fiasco.
We out.
Peace.